Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Viking adventure, part of our Viking Ocean series. Here's what's coming up in this episode. There's just something so magical about a sunrise at sea. It paints everything gold and puts purity back into the world like God has pressed the reset button. There's nothing like it. It's also a great time to enjoy a long, thoroughly restful breakfast in the restaurant. It's what sea days are for, and to be honest, what else would you rather be doing? Have you ever had lamb chops for breakfast? I have. Well, now I have. While we're in a reflective and thoughtful mood, and freshly fueled by a coffee or 3, let us bring you 10 weird and wonderful features of this ship we've never seen before on any other ship. These are what make Viking just that little bit more memorable. Animal skins on the back of chairs? Real or not, these make you feel proper Nordic. Beautifully detailed, these national Nordic costumes should not be missed. These built-in mini fridges are a design delight and much better than all those lesser fridges. Heated bathroom floors, warm your toes or dry your cozies. This floor is a toasty triumph. Ooh, that extra long hot tub. They fill this with ice when you cross into the Arctic Circle for cold plunging. Ooh. The giant LED screen in the atrium is super high def, and it really is astonishing. This is called a snow grotto because it actually snows in here. Yes, it snows down from the ceiling. These licks of flame are actually made of steam, but they're still just as mesmerizing to look at. This secret PCR lab keeps you super safe in the age of COVID. There's weird column lights on the Aquavit terrace, with a pattern on them resembling a Nordic knitted jumper. I'm not sure what practical uses these columns are for, but they look great at night. On the subject of Aquavit, I know, dear inquisitive viewer, the question you've all been wanting to ask, and that is this. Why have Viking called this area the Aquavit Terrace? And what exactly is Aquavit? Lignée Aquavit is named after the tradition of sending oak barrels of aquavit inside ships from Norway to Australia and back again, thereby passing the equator, the Lignée, twice before being bottled. The constant movement, high humidity and fluctuating temperature causes the spirit to extract more flavour from the barrels and contributes to an accelerated maturation. This terrace is a celebration of this traditional Nordic drink that is matured at sea. Apparently, they have barrels of the stuff on Viking ships too. Interesting, eh? We're just at the back here, and we're looking at the guy, and I was wondering what Viking Aquavit was. So I'm just going to try some. It's a rather nice bar out the back here. That's okay. What have you got there? Is that Aquavit, is it?
And it have its own glass.
Oh gosh, right. Is that an Aquavit glass, is it?
Yes, Aquavit glass was the name.
Oh, okay.
Give it a try.
Oh.
I can fill it up. And this is the bottle. It was matured at sea.
Matured at sea, wow. That's, oh gosh, there's a really different taste, isn't it?
Yes.
It is a different taste. Right, okay, so here it is. The Viking, what is it called?
Aquavit.
No, it's Aquavit, but what's the thing called? Viking, it's called a Viking.
cocktail?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called now. Viking, anyway. Here's the Aquavit, aged in barrels on the Viking Sun, I think it was. According to George, our barman, who's fantastic. So, cheers, let's give it a go.
Pina colada's good.
That is,
That is the smoothest pina
that is like a
colada.
Jaeger bomb in Lucasade. There. So if you're on Viking for the authentic experience, try the Viking Aquavit stuff. If you think Liverpool is only famous for its 2 world-class football teams and the Fab Four, then kickstart my pacemaker, Jerry, cause Liverpool has a history so packed with drama, world-changing events and things you'd never thought would ever have emanated from Merseyside. We decided to do a walking tour, which was not free, but it did look very interesting. Our brilliant Indigenous guide let rip with so many fascinating and engaging facts, you were gripped from start to finish. There's far too many to go into detail here, but Liverpool has an influence on so many historical events from the American Civil War to World War II, and was once richer than the City of London. It was home to Cunard and the White Star Line, and therefore the home port of the RMS Titanic and her sisters. Oh, and let's not forget, it forever changed the shape of modern music in the 1960s, with no less than 56 musical artists who achieved a #1 single, more than any other city. Liverpool Cathedral is also one of the largest church buildings in the world. I could go on, but I'm running out of video clips to play over my narrative. These 3 buildings, known as the 3 Graces, form part of the waterfront which enjoys UNESCO World Heritage status. Yes, this was an incredibly interesting 3 hours, and we arrived back at the ship with sore feet and a new appreciation of this culturally dazzling city. Dinner in the World Cafe was a must because they had Chateaubriand on offer. In the buffet, Chateaubriand. All you can eat. I have never ever seen that before. I'll let that sink in for a bit. Viking have reached peak buffet. There is no higher. It will never be bettered by any cruise line. I'll remember this day, a day I witnessed and enjoyed. Buffet Endgame. Well, how do you follow this? A trip to the theatre to enjoy some Beatles numbers. Oh, and if you think we've neglected to include any Beatles content, or even mentioned them at all, relax, we've saved the best till last. Enjoy. next 2 days were sea days, supposedly scenic sailing around the Scottish western coast, but the weather had more sinister ideas, so it seemed the perfect time to get breakfast in our stateroom to brighten the mood. And brighten the mood it did, as it was one of the most delicious ensuite breakfasts we'd ever had on any ship. With mood lifted, we headed to the spa, where we wanted to experience the whole Nordic ethos of hot and cold. Well, I did anyway. Helen just wanted to experience the hot part. Coward. Here's a summary of how it all went. Well, mostly for me.
Come on in. The water's lovely.
What's on, Shag? We Emmets be in Cornwall. Apologies to real Cornish people everywhere. Hang on, I know what you're thinking. You've just ruined it, Richard. Beautiful sky, but what's with all that white smoke coming out, polluting this lovely fresh Falmouth air? Well, in fact, this is not poisonous sulphurous smog, but the latest in clean tech. Viking have reduced the sulphur in the ship's exhaust by investing in equipment that washes the gases with a mixture of water and sodium hydroxide. What you see is steam coming from the funnel as the clean, warm vapour condenses in the colder air. One day, all ships will be this clean and environmentally conscious to preserve such a beautiful place such as this. Today, Helen went on a Viking-included excursion. Unfortunately, due to COVID, guests are still not allowed to venture off the ship and explore on their own, which is a great shame as Falmouth is a gorgeous little port town and well worth a wander round. Most of the excursion was in a coach, but they did stop at Mounts Bay and Marizine Beach, home to St Michael's Mount, for a quick photo opportunity. All in all, it was a shame the restrictions stopped us enjoying Falmouth further, particularly as it was such a beautiful day. What to do, eh? Well, a bit of Cornish-themed lunch, that's what. And the World Cafe had just that. The local dish is of course the Cornish pasty, and the on-board chefs absolutely nailed it. We didn't want to eat too much as we wanted to try some more room service. And I'll tell you what, bloody handsome that was too. God, that's even worse, isn't it? The weather was absolutely perfect for the Viking Explorer Society party out on the sun-soaked pool area. Cruise director Heather Clancy is not only one of the funniest cruise directors we've ever met, but she can totally bust out a tune too. Who'd have thought that someone with such a soft southern drawl could literally knock birds out of the sky with such powerful operatic pipes? Wow! Later on, Viking very kindly laid on a free gin tasting, so we met our fellow YouTuber friends Ben and David for a crafty nip or two of some botanically based beverages. Trying not to look like we were staggering too much, we had a date with the English menu at the chef's table afterwards, and damn fine it was too. Although the wine flight on top of the gin tasting, well, got a bit challenging towards the end. One final sea day meant this incredible cruise was drawing to a close. I really can't put into words how utterly enjoyable this cruise was, how personable and caring the staff were, how delicious every bite of food was, how absorbing and interesting every little detail around the ship was. We've got all these things explained in much more detail in our Viking Ocean playlist, including a full dining guide, Venus ship tour and a guide to the categories of stateroom and suites on board. We recommend you give these a look next. Thank you so much for coming along with us, and as they say, skål!